Nate, how you doing?
Good. He keeps putting the secretive shit on me, so I'm like, let's figure out what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what he's going to talk about. So, no, I've been good. Actually been doing my due diligence and then watching stuff I'm supposed to watch. And, watching...
Because God forbid, right?
God forbid, right? Well, see, here's the thing, and I've said it multiple times. With me, I want to watch... I can enjoy something the most whenever I'm in my element, whenever it's like I'm feeling like in that moment to watch it. Like Umbrella Academy is a good example. Like I wanted to binge it over the weekend, and fuck me, I did. I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes just because it was like start to finish.
Right.
And that's like I'm in my space. I'm by myself. I'm just enjoying this myself. Whereas I discovered, and this was actually with video games, God of War is the best example. God of War, when it came out, oh my God, the zeitgeist, it was like everyone wouldn't shut up about it.
Right.
And so I bought it. I bought the collector's edition, which I'm still proud of. One of those that I wasn't expecting, like, because with Halo, like you can see here, Halo, I, enjoy those games so much and wanted to support. That was like, hey, that looks fucking cool. I'm just going to get it.
Right.
So anyway, I started playing it, and it was right before we were about to move.
Oh, yeah.
And, I'm not having fun. I'm genuinely not. Like, it's like I'm forcing myself to play through this game, and it's not making me enjoy it. And so I stopped. Right. And then I basically waited 3 months after we moved, and then was like, I'm off work. Let me try this. And I loved it. I loved it. It was so it's. I want to watch stuff whenever like I'm not being rushed or forced to, but when it's stuff like the Umbrella Academy, we had like a timeline to go through, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
Right.
I guess it just honestly depends on the show.
Yeah, definitely. So what about life? What's going on with life? You're still working from home, aren't you?
Yeah, still working from home. Funnily enough, I have 3 desks in this tiny room.
Oh God.
So the one that you can't see is where my computer stuff is. Wire management is just bad in general, so don't critique me on that. I've got my studio desk, which is where like my amps and my microphones and my other stuff sit for my school stuff. And then I've got this for my work from home desk.
Oh God.
It's like I wish I had like swivel desks, that way I could just spin around and do whatever I need to do. But life's okay. This month is especially rough, just because I started back school, and the class that I started at was the one I thought I was going to be skipping entirely, which is advanced music theory, which I actually talked about this last week. So it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff where I'm like, it's kind of hard to fake my way out of this, which I've done for some of my classes. So it's like stressing about that. It's really like I'm just getting forward this month, and that way I can like calm down a little bit. So it's a little stressful, but it's kind of, 2020 is just fucked anyway. So it's like, there's nothing really that surprises me or stresses me out as much anymore.
Yeah, speaking of 2020, if you guys don't know, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on air. I think I might have mentioned on Weekly Grind. So if you've been around since like Weekly Grind and stuff like that, you might know. But I'm an Uber driver, or DoorDash.
Oh yeah.
So, like one of my biggest pet peeves right now is going and seeing everyone act as if everything is normal. I go to a restaurant, there are people like packed together. Like, okay, so yesterday I went to a place called Asiago or something. It's an Italian place. So I went there, and when I first got there, there's this group of 6. They're all older people, so that it's not like they're one household or something, Like if it was one household, I usually forgive it. It's like, okay, there's mom, there's dad, there's, I usually forget it. But there's 6 grown adults all packed really tightly together in front of the check-in counter. And of course, I walk in because I'm an Uber driver and I respect, the restaurant people. Like when I go into a restaurant, I have my mask on because most of the time they have to have their mask on. So I respect them by putting my mask on. You know what I mean? It's a professional courtesy, if you will. So I walk in, and then of course I feel like I get the stink eye. I don't know if it was just me because like anxiety or whatever, but I feel like I get the stink eye from a couple of them, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm the bad person. Like,
Yeah. Well, we went out to eat last night for the first time in a while.
oh, me
We just
too.
haven't-
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
not
we
last
just-
night, but go ahead, do your story.
Yeah, we just haven't gone out in a while. So we went to a place called Kawa's. Have you heard of Shogun's? Shogun's.
Yes, I think I've
Okay.
heard of it. Yes.
Okay, so Shogun's is kind of it's one of the oldest hibachi places here. It's a staple. Like, you go to Shogun's and it tastes the same and it's great.
So
But the problem
hibachi is the one
Yeah.
where they cook it in front of you, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
go ahead.
Yeah. Problem is the only Shogun's that's here is a fucking tiny lot, and everyone wants to go to it, and it's so. Oh my god, dude, stop. So there's a nail that is on my wall, just stuck on my wall, like it's screwed in, and because of my light, it's casting a shadow, so my cat thinks it's a bug.
Oh,
and so right now he is on my tower, looking at it, trying to reach. I'm like, So if you catch me doing that, that's what I'm doing. But anyway, it's such a tiny lot,
Right.
and everyone wants to go there, and so it's always packed. So we drove past, and like we didn't even bother to pull in to see what the wait was. There were 4 groups waiting outside. We're like, fuck this now. So we went to this other place called Kawa's, and presentably it was a lot nicer.
Mhm.
But the one thing that I noticed, and it's a really nice, they got nice seating area and hibachi. You go to the hibachi rooms, and I mean, we're talking about 10, 11, 12 of the stations, and everyone's shoulder to shoulder. And it's like,
Ugh.
and now it's one of those that it didn't really bother me, because when it comes to situations like that, I understand. It's
Right.
I see that differently than these fucking YouTube and TikTok creators going to a house party. Not like 9-day fucking difference, and so it didn't bother me as much, and it was a good experience. We
Yeah.
paid like $33 for a meal
Yeah.
with sushi.
So yeah, I had a similar thing where we went out for the first time. I mean, first off, we have kids, so it's a lot harder for us too, because we actually have to have somebody watch our kids or whatever. So Grandma watched them, and Grandma we trust because she works at Albertsons, and like when she gets home, she'll literally take her clothes off and wash them, and then go take a shower. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, she's taking this serious, maybe too serious, albeit I'll admit, but she's
Yeah.
at least taking it serious. So I can respect that, and I'm okay. Like, I can trust you with my kids because I know you're not just going to be like, all right, let's go to the park. So anyways, so they were able to go with Grandma. We were originally going to go to a place called Texas Roadhouse.
Yep.
A really nice steak place. And we got there, and just pulling up to it, I'm like, there are a ton of cars. Like, unless every single car is here to go to like the Albertsons right there, I don't want to go. So we got our masks on. We went inside, just kind of take a peek, and I'm like, no. So I bounced as well. I was like, no, I'm not doing this or whatever. And then we went to a place, Johnny Carino's. Do you have a Johnny Carino's?
I've heard of Johnny Carino's,
Okay.
but I don't have one.
So we went to a place, Johnny Carino's, Italian. We hadn't had Italian for a while, so I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? We go there, maybe 5 other groups there, and they're really well spread out and everything. So I'm like, okay, like this gets my anxiety in check. So one thing I was talking about before is, when I see people just acting normal, I want to get back to normal. I don't think there's a person out there, unless you're just a really big super introvert and you were already staying inside all the time. Unless you're that person, I think everybody can agree that we want things to go back to normal. The only thing that frustrates me is when people just don't seem to realize that the reason we can't go back to normal is because you're going out and stuff. So I'm going to put some context because I live in Idaho. Idaho, as of 8/15, so that was yesterday, we have 304 cases. We have 269 deaths. Now, just last month, we were below 100 deaths. So maybe like a month and a half, we were below 100 deaths. We weren't even in the triple digits. We were in the 90s. And so then within a month and a half, we went from 90 something to 269. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
the
trying to check
type.
my cases right now.
I'm the type who I literally have this on my phone as its own window in my Chrome browser. So every day, every other day, sometimes I skip a day because I don't like being depressed. I'll check it. I want to be informed because it's super easy to just be like, 300 cases, but only one death. It's like, yeah, but that's still a fucking death. So I try to keep myself informed, and I try to make that my deciding factor. And same thing,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have gone out to eat if we had to worry about the kids, because one's 5-year-old, she's very good at wearing a mask, which is fucking sad if you consider it. because
she's growing up.
Because she's a fucking 5-year-old, and she's better than most adults. We tell her why. We tell her why she needs to wear a mask. She accepts that. Now, granted, she is 5, so maybe we're brainwashing her. But still, we tell her why, she understands, and she wears the masks. To the point where, I think I told you this story before, but off camera. To the point where we went to the dollar store together one time. We walk in, there were 2 people who didn't have a mask on, and she, in a almost yelling voice was like, "They're not wearing a mask!" And I'm like, "Sweetie, shh."
It's because that she's not old enough to know the statement, "I know my rights."
Right, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, she just. I mean, I wouldn't want to put it as she does what she's told, but it's easy for her to understand. We tell her that there's a sickness. We tell her that if you cover your mask, you have less chance of getting sick, and that's all we need to tell her. Sorry, what?
I said, and she wears your mask, she won't get down with the sickness.
Yeah, she won't get down with sickness. So it's as simple as that. Is we just tell her, hey, this is why you need to do it.
Yeah.
And once again, yes, I understand. She's 5-year-old, so maybe that has something to do with it, right? Somebody could argue that. Somebody who is against masks, an anti-masker, if you will, could argue that that's why she's not wearing a mask. It's not because she understands it. And I could definitely see where you're coming from, but at the same time, it's just it's simple. It is super, super simple. Wear a mask. It's just, do I love it? No, I don't freaking love it. It's 100 degrees outside, and I go from my car to the door, and I wear my mask. And my breath, the humidity, it's not comfortable. Sometimes, I kind of feel like I'm not getting enough air, but at the same time, it's for 30 seconds from there to there. When I go into a store, it's air conditioned, it's really nice. I still have the humidity from my breath, but it's it kind of sucks, but I do it. I do it. And so for right now, me being an Uber driver, just being around other people, that's my biggest pet peeve, is that everybody's acting completely normal. And I don't know.
See, for me, when it comes down to the masks, it's totally a cosmetic thing, but I need to find ones that are beard friendly. So,
right.
So the biggest issue I have, and for me, I've actually capped it where I'm at an hour. When I'm at the store, I'm like, okay, now I'm getting uncomfortable. But when it comes to having a beard, take my headphones off for a second.
Okay.
I have this great mask my
fucking asshole.
mother-in-law made me.
I hate him.
Stormtroopers, really dope, really cool. I got this going on.
Right.
It's like I have a little.
Well, see, now your beard is. Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
See, now your beard is really just a filter all its own. So, I mean, I wouldn't worry too much.
Well, see, the problem I could solve is if I did this instead. Oh. What is it?
Now get it over your nose. There you go.
No, I know my rights. I'm gonna wear it like this.
Oh man.